Hello everybody. Hey, okay, we're back. We had some clout to farm. I mean, just look at this shit. This was Clouty number 2. We can see there's Clouty number 1. What happened with it? It blew way past it, right? That was Clouty number 1. It just kept going. Clouty number 2. There's Clouty number 2. So we're gonna write that on there. Clouty the second. And I guess it's like, you could think of it as like an inflection zone. This was the Trump win, vertical accumulation, like I was saying on stream. You know, we were on stream right around here, where I said, okay, it's just about reaching the top. And then it God candled another 10% in one day, which I don't think anybody was expecting, you know. I don't think anybody was anticipating that. And so that's why I have today some nice piano music. I feel like it's reminiscing. The music makes me feel like there's like a sorrow for the Bears, because a lot of Bears got blown out. And I know some people are bearish and were bearish lower. And that's okay. But if the history tells us anything on the BLX chart, we have our lines here. We have our log. Right? Remember we drew this right around here, projecting it. So, if history tells us anything, we can go back and have a look and see every time the all-time high was broken, that Bitcoin proceeded to go up only, right? And especially the most recent cycle, because that's kind of what we have to relate to, right? So there's 20K to be broken, and in 2020 we can see here that Bitcoin broke 20K with some really good up candle thrusts. Right, it went from 20 to 40, and then it corrected. That's on a weekly. So we look at what we're up against on a weekly. You know, 100K is not that far. 100K is just another one of those 10% days. You know? I know this one's 88 and this one's 87, but we're just taking a look at the BLX, right? So we're really a little bit farther when we're talking on the current price. Oh, that's 3% from 90, and we're 15% away from 100. Okay? But that's not too horrible, right? That's actually a lot closer than people anticipate. One thing to pay attention to is total Because this is the one thing that I saw that I noticed. We spiked into this 3 trillion mark. Just into it. And that's when the selling started. Right, I've even got a line up here. 2.947. And look at that. Like, it means something, right? Look at how close it was to it. So close to it. But what does that mean overall for the crypto markets? It means the bears are pretty much fucked. And if you take a look at the stream photo that I uploaded, which, speaking of which, I'm going to share this out so that I can get some people on the stream. So if we look there on the Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle, I really think in that cheat sheet that we went through depression and then disbelief was that grind up, right? So if we look at this on a larger time scale, and this is the down part towards anger and depression, and then this, like, this is all depression right here. And then this grind up is actually disbelief. And I'm sure that a lot of you know that retail's not here. Right? So let's search Google Trends. Google Trends. Or search Bitcoin. Worldwide, and we're gonna do past 5 years so we can see a good bit of time. And one thing to say about this, it started January 23. I mean, you could say it actually really started October 23 and bull marketed up to about March, correcting sideways and now breaking out again. Of course, to new all-time highs, and total just about at all-time highs. So it's really just Bitcoin that's leading the race here. If I could draw on my screen, you'd be able to see a line that goes down to there. Let me see, there must be a way. Ink workspace. I don't care about the font. Yeah, I don't know. I think I need some kind of software, which I'm not going to bother getting right now. Let's see. See what this guy says. Oh yeah, I don't have that. That's okay. Alright, so point being is that we're basically on the cusp. If you drew a line from this high to this high, we're on the cusp of breaking out to what would be, I would consider, a relevant metric when it comes to the way retail gets involved. And that happens after disbelief. But we were talking about, October of last year, right? So they were involved. There were spikes of global involvement until March, and that's when we see the decline. It's literally the same as price. And this is just breaking out. Right? So, like, if people think that it peaked, they're definitely weird. But point being, we can see in the last 12 months, it's been, since the spike, downwards only until October. Like, nobody was searching it. We had a spike in August and another spike in April. But like, if we drew a line, we just broke out between October and November. Like, this is just starting. It's really a warm-up, and we can try crypto currency, and you can see this is being even more dead. And let's search that over a 5-year. It was very hot in 21, right? But we've been going sideways ever since. And again, very hot in March, 45. Nothing compared to this. Nothing. And so I think it's barely just beginning. And this was second wave, right? We had one wave, two waves. Let's go 2004 to present. So we can see the other waves, right? 2017, same sort of thing. And you can see this is on a trend upward. It literally looks like the chart of Bitcoin if you look at it. The only thing is that, like, people don't really anticipate or understand this, that when Bitcoin was crossing the all-time high of 2017, when was that? That was right here. Right? November, December 2020. Right? There's literally December to January. Right? So like November to December, November to January basically, that's when total was breaking all-time highs. As well as BTC. Right? Breaking all-time highs. Previous all-time highs. Right around here. And it had like a little bit of a dip before it really just like shot up through 2x and then corrected. So yeah, maybe we don't do a 2x, maybe we just do a 50%. Right? Excuse me. But yeah, like from here, from when we broke previous all-time highs would have been right around here. So 50%, that's like over 100K, right? So 100K is a pretty relatively safe target. And going up towards it in this many candles is pretty insane. But the one thing I'll say is we have 4 days, 20 hours, 420. 4 days, 20 hours until the weekly closes. So use this peaceful music to draw you a calm bath of relaxation as we're up only from here. And I did speak of some meme coins recently, which we'll take a look at Solana. Solana is of course, taking a bit of a beating on this dip for Bitcoin. But this is kind of where we're looking at, right at the 200 mark. Psychological resistance. It should hold strong and bounce up from there quite nicely, because that's a pretty, it's like a pretty savage dip when we're talking wiping out leverage and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's already seen almost 11% in the dip. Yeah, it'll be 11% if it hits 200, which it's only a couple dollars away, so we'll see who's bidding this at 200. But I think there'll definitely be some traction. Now, of course, all the meme coins due to Solana taking this dip are taking dips of their own. You know, I'll bring this one on because we were talking about it the other night. Up only. And we were talking about it right down here. Right in this bottom. You know, and I was saying, like, look at this. This is a good chance to bottom. And I had a box range kind of boxing this out. I think it was there, yeah. So I had that kind of box range on there. You know, I was showing you guys like this. No, it must have been lower. Yeah, something like that, I think. Oh yeah, we had this guy encapsulated right there. So that was kind of the zone that I was saying that this is a dip buy, right? And you could have bought this dip and it went up 300% from that dip, right? Now, it's taken a dip since Solana started dipping. You know, right here, 11 November 2300. And if we look at Solana, 11/2300 right there. Just as it spiked, you know, we saw Solana dip. But that was a big engulfing down candle, 4% all at once. So ever since we've been down, and we've seen a lot of the meme coins take corrections, other than some like Peanut. You know, Peanut's absolutely going crazy. It must be up here. Is this it? No, that's not the right one. This one's the right one. Peanut. P.nut. Look at this thing. This is Binance listing. And look at where I was looking at it. 100 mil. Had a chance to buy at 70 for a long time. I didn't buy any yet. It hurts. Because it literally, this is looking like Doge of last cycle style. Where it goes up. And now it's, you know, it's going to do that again. And just, pew. See you later. Into the billions. It almost touched $1 billion, right? Hit 911 almost. 900 million. There is definitely some crazy rich MFs from Peanut. But yeah, so back to up only. Which I was saying, this is a bid zone. We're back into a bid zone. again, so this is actually another good opportunity to grab a bag that has been 60% burned by Kobe. It's not actually at 7.8 million market cap. It's actually at 3. We can see right here, 3.1 million. This is a nice dip to be buying, as this thing's gonna go up from here. So if we look at this, you know, we are kind of ignoring that wick, which I don't normally do, but I'll say this is a meme coin, so that could have been just one buy. So it is a little scammy, and this looks a little bit nicer and tighter. I think it sort of extended this play to break out. Once it breaks out, then we should see some nice fireworks from here. Some up only. And yeah, I can tell you that I am in the whales chat, and there are plans for this project to go viral. So I'll just mention that one of the most commonly used phrases in crypto Twitter is up only. And most wealthy from last cycle people know what up only is because of Kobe and Ledger, essentially. And I think it actually has a lot more to do with cryptopathic, right? So I wonder if we can find this. Cryptopathic. So, like, I wish I could look back. But I might just have to scroll. He doesn't post all that much, I don't think. I mean, he might be now because it's... Oh yeah, wow, he's posting a lot, actually. We'd have to really dig. Would it have been like November 2020 post? Let's see if that finds anything. If that, damn. See if I can Google that. I don't know if that's even possible. Highlights? Oh yeah, maybe this is how we go back. Look at that. There we go. Denominator is worthless. Infinite bid. And I think it was soon after this he set up only. Right there. 2021. Okay, that's a little bit... I don't know, that's a little bit later. Yeah, that's a little bit later. Either way, might have not been cryptopathic, but everybody on CT knows up only. Like, they all say up only. So, up only. What else did we talk about? Oh yeah, we talked about this one. Let's swap back out. We talked about GME, and I will say that both the coin and the stock did some crazy stuff. because I said, you know, up to here, up to the 40s and down to, you know, 38. And look at what it did. It went up to the 60 and down to 38. So it's in a really nice dip right now. I would be going hard on something like this. This is a really good opportunity before this continues on upwards. But, you know, from even around where we were talking about it, that was over 100% move that you could have had in GME. And this has perps, right? Yeah. So basically, as Solana started coming down, this as well, right? It like spiked up with Solana there, 12% in one candle. Continued going all the way to 60, you know, from 53, and then started dipping, and it's been taking a dip ever since. Big last candles, 15% down in the last, well, it's like 18% in the last 3 hours. So when it bounces with Solana, we're gonna see some major recoveries from these. Like I think I was saying in my Telegram, during this capitulation wick, basically, let's go on a bigger time frame. Wick, right? On a 15, you know, it went down in a couple hours from 214 to 199, and then recovered within a couple hours, maybe even just 1 hour, back up to 214, and then, you know, a little more sideways before it continued soaring. So, you know, we could see this type of V recoveries very often, like right here, even boom, V recovery. You know, all of these V's, a V recovery here, but it didn't fully recover. So, you know, this could be forming a larger W type pattern, and just keeping an eye on that trend. For something like that, some continuation up to this 228. And then play out of that, because, you know, it'll probably do something like that coming out of it. Is there an eraser? I wish there was just like an eraser, so I can erase that little, just scribble it out. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're gonna leave that projection on for Solana, because this is a good place to bounce, honestly. And we just want to see it invalidate the 215. So like break that, and then, you know, retest it, and then go from there. It might not retest that low. But yeah, I mean, this looks good for a recovery from here. Now that we're seeing this massive Doge print that we just saw. The Doge prints are usually telltale sign for the upward movement. Like you can see it right here, right? Major Doge, it went straight back up. So, you know, as long as we see the next candle engulf the one before the Doge, this is going to have a really good chance to just send upwards, right? And this would look like a really big hammer as well if it did that. The volume's coming in too, that's really nice to see. So yeah, I think a recovery is imminent. Dips are forbidding. We don't have this on a lower time frame. Let's just do 1 hour, because like, look at that trend, and then the 4 hour. That can stay like that for a while. Remember, like I was saying, this can stay like this for a while. And like, it's far from here. Back at 78K. We could just stay consolidating here, but I think the consolidation will be kind of like this. And just, you know, 95K dip back to 90 and see you later. But it could stay relatively flat in a channel like this. Just like we've seen here. So this actually might not happen. Might not happen. I think it'd look more like that. Just keep sidestepping up. And that would be kind of the best look. And it would leave people with the least amount of entries. Which is, like, it's typical of this type of scenario that we see. And as you can see, same thing on Bitcoin. Big doji, wick, and up. Right? And on this one, I think it tagged 90K on some exchanges. Some exchanges did, some didn't. Like, see, this one did. Like, it just re-tagged 90K. But either way, yeah, so keep an eye on that. It's just going to keep purging people while it moves upwards. You know, people were saying something about Solana ETH. Making a correction. I don't know if that matters too much though. Like, we're up here, we're in price discovery. It should just ride, you know what I mean? Sol BTC. So yeah, I mean, this hasn't even really started yet. Let's see what happened there. Something like that, right? So it just rejected from there. In the last few days on BTC, and I did notice that BTC was gaining where Solana wasn't gaining as hard. I just want to show you guys actually on BTC from about here. You know, right from about the 80K mark, Bitcoin just continued up to like 90K. Whereas Solana, around the same time, it did move up, but just not as strong. Right? Just not as strong. So yeah, keep an eye on total. I would, at least, just because this is the one that's about to break out. And when this breaks out, things are going to get a little more wacky than they are now. It's really dipping on GME. Really dipping. It's going to bounce here soon though, and it's going to bounce hard. There was a couple other ones that I mentioned actually in my chat, and I'll pull them up quick because I think they're worth seeing. just where they are at this point in their charts. They're pretty fresh charts. And one of them, I'll show you this one first because this one's got a lot of attention today. You know, I mentioned this one around here. You know, people had the opportunity to buy between, you know, the 5 mil and 2.25 mil, right? So this kind of down stretch, I was saying this is a good buy. And so from that point, you know, even from around here, say you bought around there, it did go up 250%, basically, right? From lows to the highs. It did take a major correction today, though, as it was about to break out. You know, it corrected 45% and then continued to correct to 90%. So this took like a massive, massive hit today. But this is why I'm saying to pay attention, because this is looking just like the upward movement trending upwards, right? Like this is good to see. Just like this, right? Once it cracks it, it goes out. Now, a lot of people are blaming Murad for this. I guess a lot of people didn't know Aeon is an NFT project, so they got involved with this and, you know, dumped it when Murad said that this was a scam, even though it's just like a token. So what makes it a scam? It's not a scam. It's just a token. It's a CTO token. So either way, for people to say it's a scam is actually pretty hilarious. What's crazy is that this one came out, you know, 30 days ago, 13th of October. And then when Murad, he tweeted Aeon, this went crazy. So, you know, I don't know what kind of hijinks potentially going on here with him, because he ended up tweeting that like right here. This is something that people were saying as well, that it was right on this support level when he tweeted. So maybe he's helping people get entries, and he's also testing the community, because this is what he said, is that meme coin cult isn't a cult unless it's being tested, battle tested, you know, very highly battle tested. But like, look at this, when it first launched. I think this is a pump fund, it must be. The way the launch looks, it looks like it was a pump fund. Yeah, it looks like it was a pump fund. But it did nothing. Like, it came back up to 30K. And there were like 20K buys and like 5K buys here and there. 17K. It wasn't until he tweeted that it went up so crazy, and the amount of volume that's in this right now, it's still 28 million volume with a 3.8 million market cap. So like, we still see like insane volumes every hour. I'll put it on, you know, almost 1 million in volume an hour. Of course, that, you know, 7 million in those couple candles, then down to about 1 million an hour. So it's still like, there's still lots of volume coming in. It's more volume around now than right here when it was twice the price. So it's obviously got more eyes on it, and I just think this is a really good buy right here. It's above this zone. It's, you know, it's a good buy in my opinion. And just seeing this kind of climb up, I think that's really what we're going to see, is something like that, where some form of catalyst is going to come in here and and once it gets to that sort of range right here, to get rid of this entire Murad candle, and then out of that we'll see some craziness. But yeah, so that was Aeon, and the other one that I talked about in my group was Aurora. Now I think I did call this one in my group a little higher, and that's why, like, I think it was around here, because I was anticipating this level of this looking inverted head and shoulders. Once it cracked that, I anticipated it moving up much higher, much quicker. It didn't. So this, I think, it is risky. However, what we're looking at right now, it looks like a pretty solid buy, a pretty solid entry for this one. You know, we could look at this as well as like a more near term. It's on the cusp of breaking out of this. You know, it's attempted a couple times. And I just think this is a really good risk reward. It's an AI sort of artificial understanding, radiating order and realization anew. It's like a Twitter and a website. I haven't actually checked the website, I don't think. Yeah, so this is an LLM type of token, AI token. That's the AI made it. I'm not sure, or controls it. I don't know. Really, we don't have a lot of inference of what's going on here. Yeah, we're not really sure, but there's tweets nonstop. This is it, I guess. Automated by Gabriel DevOps AI. AI large language model designed to navigate and engage with complexities of the crypto world. Doesn't just provide insights on tokens, profiles, and intelligent contracts. It actively monitors platforms like Twitter, Discord, Telegram to detect issues such as fake accounts, scams, misleading information. What makes it more exciting is that it also generates content, including videos and memes, to keep the community engaged while entertaining valuable insights. So it can send Solana, reply, make posts, comment on user posts, store short and long-term memories, important memories. It can generate images and posts if enabled. Follow someone on Twitter. We'll always keep an eye on Twitter. Soul scanner, deck screener as a reactive agent. So yeah, I mean, this is like an agent, right? It's similar to like Goat, but yeah, it's Aurora. The videos look creepy, but I guess it's still fresh, right? You gotta think this stuff's still fresh. So it's kind of like a brain, but yeah, this one, there was a lot of traction and talk about it today. Actually should follow that guy. So I just bought some because this is worth holding. If, you know, I think if we see things like Goat moving up, the same thing we'll see of a project like this, but it's at a very